Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's Failrace episode with Tomahawk GT350 on GTA 5. He's driving around with his motorbike. Fancy's trying to go for a little bit of a stunt, trying to jump to kind of like the outside lip of the bridge, gets the bike to bounce up properly, misses the lip, bounces off a Sabre Turbo, and fired into an oncoming Zion. Not quite the stunt he was going for, really, on that. He couldn't have really timed that one much worse. Tom the Turtle 180 is hurtling down the motorway with his Range Rover in oncoming traffic through a tunnel. He goes for a more spectacular stunt off the front of a Voltic, gets lifted up by another car. They're basically playing keepy-uppy with the Range Rover. Not bad, getting 3 cars to keep the vehicle in the air. Zars on GTA 5 has just spawned in. Fancies getting a vehicle, gets the shafter working and everything. This may be the quickest a poor innocent vehicle has ceased to exist. You try to take a shortcut down and yeah, did not fare so well for the poor shafter. Normally they only explode when you hit them on the back, but yeah, that one is well and truly gone. Up next, we have got an adder flying down the runway with the assistance of some mods. Yes, the car is very quick, but it turns out at these sorts of speed, grass is very dangerous. As the adder tumbles through the air, that is a very, very large flip caused by some grass. I also approve of the colour scheme on the car. On to Just Cause 3 next with an invisible AK-47, who is doing the decent thing. Has spotted a plane coming into landing. I think he's after getting one of the jets and moves the wreckage out of the way, so his allies' aircraft doesn't explode. Now that's a helpful thing to do for the AI. He then goes to acquire the jet that suddenly gets a rocket boost. Not quite sure how it got boosted forward. It suddenly gets fired forwards and ends up exploding in the hangar. Anyway, Knight's Viper, also on Just Cause 3, is driving one of the game's supercars towards a destination when he gets a little bit distracted by a pop-up menu. Not quite paying attention, doesn't realise the AI vehicle ahead of him, which then doesn't really like to do much with physics and somehow flips around and explodes. Not quite sure how that collision causes a pickup to get launched into the air, but there we go. Hackers 9988 on Just Cause 2 is trying to land his aircraft sensibly. There's people trying to be sensible in Just Cause. I'm not quite sure what's going on. However, the flaw is not really physicsing properly. Rico's managed to land the aircraft in the one quicksand airport in the entire map. I mean, the plane's fine. The plane's still working. And yes, he goes forward a little bit further. The plane sinks even further into the ground. It's not quite ideal, as Rico's pretty much fully under the ground. Not quite working there. Guge 571 on Forza 6, playing a little bit of a tag. Not quite aware of his surroundings. Gets absolutely mullered by, I think it was a Maserati birdcage. I'm not sure though. Tremendous speed from whatever it was. Launches his Chevy well across the map and stuck up against a building. It was an impressive fire across the level, and now the Chevy, it does eventually come scraping down. But that could have been a lot worse. On to a Trackmania Turbo with some multiplayer as they head towards the first of the big jumps. Some cars are doing stunts. This guy goes for a stunt as well. Leaves it too late, though, to try and go for his flip. Bounces off of the ground amazingly. Lands it perfectly, completely unintentionally doing a whole bunch of flips. Greg Viscore 1 on a Sunset Overdrive is trying to chase down a truck, that's managed to get itself a little bit stuck. A little bit too close, though, to the garbage truck. Physics gets angry and decides that, well, that the player should probably end up stuck inside the car park floor. Not really being eaten by the monsters, however, equally not going anywhere. So, not a particularly good fate. It's not wise to chase after the angry garbage truck. Rubber Trail on Dirt Rally doing some rallycross, trying to chase down the leader. Just clips that inside curb. The curb that has been the bane of many drivers at Linden Hill. Scrapes his way a good 100 metres across the track on its side before the bounce off the tyre bundles rights the vehicle. Still on Dirt Rally with Pikes Peak the Fearsome fearsome Pikes Peak hill climbers. We're coming right to the very top of the course, carrying that little too much speed though. The car runs wide as it crosses some rocks, rolls over, miles clear of the finish line, but somehow, or miles wide of the finish line I should say. Still, it counted. It still counted for the car crossing the finish. GetBit87 on Need for Speed 2015 has noticed a police car doing a burnout for seemingly no good reason, just kind of sitting there holding up traffic, doing a rather large burnout. This is an unusual sight. The player goes to investigate. Turns out it's not a normal policeman. You see, it is the ghost of a policeman, because there's no collisions for his vehicle either. Not quite sure what the police force, and then he manages to lag backwards. I'm assuming it's a laggy police car, but either way, quite amusing to go around the corner to see a police car doing a burnout. A little Audi on Race 07 has got a Honda Formula 1 car coming to turn 1 at Silverstone, clips the curb on the inside, and, well, the Formula 1 car's not on its wheels anymore. Again, another car skidding a very, very long way on its roof. This time, though, landing onto its wheels. We've seen this curb cause issues for cars in the wet on Forza 6. Wouldn't expect a Formula 1 car, though, to go over there. And it keeps a huge amount of its momentum going while it's upside down before, eventually righting itself. Sticking with Formula 1 cars, Lukey Wolf on Assetto Corsa gets things a little bit wrong in his Ferrari, loses the back end, clips a barrier, and the Ferrari kind of just wants to hang around up here. Not quite sure how it's balanced on its nose cone like that. Keeps up. Just physics has held the car there for so long and decides, nah, we're not gonna keep that. And now the Formula 1 car is falling through the floor. And finally, we have Black and Red 81 on American Truck Simulator, playing around with a Ford Raptor mod, is coming towards a petrol station, having run out of fuel, is trying to coast it into the petrol station. However, may have used a little bit too much in the way of brakes to slow the car down, and has just killed the momentum that bit too much, and can't quite coast it in to where it needs to get. And unfortunately, you can't get out and push. Not that I particularly want to push a Raptor, however, there is nothing you can do about that one, so you have to then call the assistants and spend all the money. That's quite unfortunate, but really rather amusing either way. However, that is it for this video, guys. If you have clips you would like to submit to this series, then you can via our forums. There will be a link in the description. At the very top of the page is the Failrace clip submission section, and you can find all of the rules and how to submit clips in there. And while I'm here, I'd also like to say a big thank you to Der Integra Arm, who has painted a whole bunch of these first gear cars. I think there's there's 5 of them now. There's 4 new ones that will get circulated around, kind of like these ending bits of videos. They're really rather cool, so a big thank you to painting these cars. However, that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.